Namaste. So I'm going to read Book 7, Chapter 12, on the description of Vashishta's curse on Trisanku. Om Vakratuna Mahakaya Surya Kuti Samara Nirvana Samkara. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Devi Namaha. Vyasa said, O king, thus giving the advice to his son, the king Trisanku was excited with feelings of love and, in a choked voice, said to his father that he would fulfill what he had been ordered. The king then called the Brahmins first in the Vedas and the Mantrams, and he had all the materials for installation collected quickly. He brought the waters from all the sacred places of pilgrimages. He then called together with great respect all the kings. On a sacred day, the father installed his son on the throne and gave him, in accordance with due rites and ceremonies, the royal throne. The king then adopted with his wife the third Vanaprastha stage of life and practiced a severe tapasya on the banks of the Ganges. Then in due course of time, the king went to the heavens. There he began to shine like a second sun by the side of Indra, respected by all the gods. Janamejaya said, O Bhagavan, you spoke before in course of conversation that Satyavrata was cursed by Vashishta on the killing of his cow to become a pisacha. How then he got himself freed of this curse? There is a doubt on this point. Kindly clear it and oblige. Satyavrata was cursed, hence pronounced unfit to succeed to the throne. How was the Muni? By what actions was he freed of the curse? How could the father bring back to his home his son of the form of Pisacha? O Viprarisi, kindly narrate to me how the Muni was freed of his curse. Vyasa said, cursed by Vashishta, Satyavrata became then and there transformed into a Pisacha, very ugly, violent, and terrible to all. But when he worshipped the Devi with devotion, immediately the Devi gave him a beautiful divine body. By the grace of the Devi, his sins were all washed away, and his Pisacha form vanished. Satyavrata, then freed from his sins, became very much vigorous and energetic. Vashishta also became pleased with him. Blessed thus by the supreme force, and so was his father too. When his father died, the virtuous Satyavrata became king, governed his subjects, and performed various sacrifices and worshipped to the eternal mother of the gods. O king, Trisanku had a very beautiful son born to him, named Harishchandra. Endowed in all his limbs with auspicious signs, the king Trisanku wanted to make his son Yurva Raja the crown prince, and then in that very body, while living, enjoyed the heavens. The king went to the ashrama of Vashishta and gladly asked him with folded palms, bowing down before him duly. O ascetic, you are the son of Brahma, versed in all the Vedic mantrams. So you are exceedingly fortunate. Now I beg to inform you one thing. Hear it gladly. I now desire to enjoy the happiness of the heavens and all the enjoyments of the devas, while I am in this body, to enjoy in the Nandana garden, to live with the Apsaras, and to hear the sweet music of the Devas and the Gandharvas. These ideas now have taken a strong hold of my heart. Therefore, O great Muni, engage me in such a sacrifice as will enable me, in this very body, to live in the Swarloka. O Muni, you are fully competent to do this. Therefore be ready for this. Have the sacrifice done, and let me have quickly the Devaloka, so difficult to be obtained. Vashishta said, O king, it is exceedingly hard to live in the heavens while in this mortal body. The departed only live in the heavens by their merits. This is a known fact. Therefore, O omniscient one, your desire is hard to be attained. I am afraid of this. O king, the living men can hardly enjoy the Apsaras. Therefore, O blessed one, Do the sacrifice first. Then, when you leave this body, you will go to the heavens. Vyasa said, O king, the Maharishi Vashishta was already angry with the king. Therefore, when he spoke these words, the king heard and became absent-minded. He again spoke to the Maharishi, O Brahmana, if you do not allow me to do the sacrifice on account of your haughtiness, I will have the sacrifice performed now by another priest. Vashishta became very angry at the words of the king and cursed him. O evil-minded one, be as soon as possible a Chandala in this body. You have committed acts by which your path to the heaven is obstructed. You have stolen a Brahmini's wife and defiled the path of religion. You have killed the Surabhi cow and you are a libertine. Therefore, sinner, never you will go to the heavens even after your death. Vyasa said, O king, hearing these harsh words from the Guru, Trisanku became immediately Chandala in that very body. His golden earrings became turned into iron. The sweet sandal smell over his body smelled like feces. His beautiful yellow clothing became blue. The color of his body became like that of an elephant. Due to his curse, O king, those who are the worshippers of the Supreme Force can produce such things when they are angry. There is not the slightest doubt in this. Therefore, one ought never to insult any devotee of the Supreme Force. The Muni Vashishta is always engaged in repeating silently the Gayatri of the Devi. So, what wonder is there that the body of the king will be reduced to such a wretched state by his rage? The king, Trisanku, became very sorry to see his ugly body. He did not go home, rather he remained in the forest in that form and poor dress. He began to think, distressed with sorrow and overpowered with misery. My body is now blamable to the extreme. So what to do and where to go in this wretched state? I find no remedy to exhaust all my sufferings. If I go home, my son will be no doubt very much pained with sorrow. My wife, when she will see my Chandala appearance, she won't accept me. My ministers will not regard me as they used to do before. My friends and relations, when they will come to me, will not serve me for the former care. So it is far better to die than to live. Thus despised, I will drink poison, or drown myself in waters, or hang myself, or I will burn myself in the funeral pyre duly, or I will quit this blamable life by starvation. But alas, I will be guilty of suicide, so again due to this sin, I will be born a Chandala, and I will again be cursed, and I will be again cursed. Thus thinking, the king again thought that at present he ought not to commit suicide by any means. I will have to suffer for my karma, and after due sufferings this karma will be exhausted. So I will suffer in this forest for my karma, in this my body, without the enjoyment of the fruits. The past actions can never die out. Therefore all actions done by me, auspicious or inauspicious, I will enjoy or suffer in this place. Always to remain close to the holy ashrama, to wander in holy places of pilgrimage, to remember the Devi, Ambika, and to serve the saints will now be my duties. Thus I will no doubt exhaust all my actions residing in this forest. Then, if chance permits, and if I meet with a saintly person, all my intentions will be crowned with success. Thus thinking, the king, quitting his city, went to the banks of the Ganges and repenting very much, remained there on the Ganges. The king, Harishchandra, came to know the cause of his father's curse, and with a sorrowful heart sent ministers to him. Like a Chandala, the king was respiring frequently. At this time, the ministers went to him and bowing humbly said, O king, your son has ordered us to come here. We have come at his command. We are the ministers of the king, Harishchandra. Know this verily, O king. Kindly hear what the crown prince has said. Go and bring my father here without any delay. Therefore, O king, cast aside your mental agonies and come to the city. The ministers, the subjects, all will be always at your service. We will all try our best to please Vashishta so that he may favor you. And that greatly illustrious Muni, being pleased, will certainly remove your sorrows quickly. O king, thus your son has spoken to us many words, so now be pleased to go to your own abode. Vyasa said, O king, that Chandala-like king, hearing even their words, thus did not consent to go back to his house. Rather he told them, ministers, go back, all of you, to the city. and at my word, tell my son that I won't go back to my house. Better leaving all my idleness, you better govern the kingdom carefully. Show your respect especially to the Brahmins and perform various sacrifices and worship the Devas. I do not like, in this blamable Chandala form, to go to the city of Ayodhya with the high-souled ones. So you all go back to Ayodhya without any further delay. Install at my order my powerful son Harishchandra on the throne and do all these stately duties. When the ministers heard thus, the king ordered them. They began to cry very much, and bowing down, they went away early out of the hermitage. When coming back to Ayodhya, they regularly installed on a sacred day the king Harishchandra with Abhisheka water, purified with mantras. Thus, the powerful, virtuous Harishchandra, on being installed on the royal throne by the command of the king, remembered always his father and began to govern his kingdom with his ministers according to the dictates of Dharma. Here ends the 12th chapter of the 7th book on the description of Vashishta's curse on Trisanku in the Maha Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Ved Vyasa. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapari Durgakshmash Em Prem Prem Cham Om Tuya Mata Chapita